Hey guys, Sak here from SAKITECH, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra versus the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. So another big question that I get all the time now is, if I have a Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, do I upgrade to the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra? And of course, in this video what we're going to do is we are going to be inspecting every aspect of these two smartphones. So we'll do a full comparison, and then I'm going to give you guys a precise conclusion at the end with reasons based on fact. So let's dive in and get started right away. The first thing I want to quickly highlight is going to be the price. So interestingly enough, the S20 Ultra actually is the more expensive smartphone with a starting price of $1,400. Now I don't expect anybody to pay that today. Make sure you get that on sale if you ever decide to get the S20 Ultra. But the S21 Ultra has seen a $200 price drop. Right now, it is $1,200. Now let's move on and quickly talk about the display, where we do have some changes. First and foremost, the S21 Ultra has a 6.8-inch display, but the S20 Ultra has a larger 6.9-inch display. They both have the same screen resolution, so they're equally sharp and equally crisp. I'm not going to tell you guys to upgrade over the actual quality of the display, but there is one thing that is new on the S21 Ultra, and that is the ability to have 120 Hz refresh rate enabled at the maximum resolution. With the S20 Ultra, you still have 120 Hz refresh rate, but you cannot enable it at the maximum resolution. You have to drop down the resolution to 1080p to have 120 Hz on the S20 Ultra. So that is really the only major change. Again, to be very clear, as far as playing games, watching movies, watching videos, the experience is actually the same. These are very similar displays in terms of quality, except for the 120 Hz option. Is it a big deal? In my opinion, no. But if you are somebody that has been looking forward to this feature, you just have to have it, then you want to put some focus, some emphasis on this feature. Now let's move on and talk about the build and design. We do have some changes. Again, nothing dramatic. So here's the thing. The Samsung Galaxy S20 is built with Gorilla Glass 6 on the front and the back, and of course it has a metal band around the edges. But the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra actually uses Gorilla Glass Victus, which is Gorilla Glass 7 for its construction. So it is going to be slightly more durable and scratch resistant, but let's be honest, Gorilla Glass 6 is actually a very strong glass. So again, this is not a huge dramatic change, but the S21 Ultra build quality is a little bit better. Overall design is the same on the front. If you flip them on the back, I like the S21 Ultra now much better. I think it looks more handsome, and also they have done away with the shiny back finish of the S20s, and now you're getting matte finishes on the back. So for example, with the S21 Ultra black color, it's going to be all matte. It's not going to be a fingerprint magnet. So the matte finish and the new camera design, I think, makes the S21 Ultra from a design perspective from the rear much better. So that's the build and the design. Now let's move on and talk about the processor. We have an upgrade here. So the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra has a Snapdragon 865 processor, but the S21 Ultra has the Snapdragon 888 processor. The performance boost you're going to get is going to be around 20 to 25%, which is, I think, significant. However, in real life, the S20 Ultra still is able to handle all the latest games, all the apps, with no problem, no hiccups. It's just as smooth and silky as the S21 Ultra, but then, like I said, you have that new processor, the 888 processor, and of course in some parts of the world you have Exynos 2100, and these processors are more powerful than their predecessors, but I do think they don't have any use as of now for day-to-day performance, but it does give you a little bit more of that future-proof benefit. Now let's move on and talk about the battery life and battery features. So with the battery, They both have 5,000 milliamp hours of battery life. So with a single charge, they're both going to last you a full day, no problem. In fact, the S21 Ultra might lag behind a little bit because remember, if you're going to be using 120 Hz at the maximum resolution, that is going to demand more battery. But I do think they are going to be performing very similarly. They both have fast wireless charging, they both have fast wired charging, and they both have reverse wireless charging feature, so you can charge other products on the back of your phone, no problem. Now there is a difference when it comes to fast wired charging. Both the S20 and the 21 support 25 watt super fast charging, but only the S20, the older version, supports 45 watt super fast charging. So just keep that in mind. You are in fact losing something going from the S20 to the S21 Ultra. Now one more thing I forgot to mention, another thing that you're losing is the micro SD expansion slot. S20 Ultra has it, S21 Ultra, goodbye, no more micro SD expansion option, which is not a good thing. I don't like it, but just something to be aware of. So for some people, it might be a downgrade from a features perspective. Now I do want to quickly talk about the camera. It's not a huge topic. There seems to be an upgrade, but it's not significant. They both have 4 cameras, so it's a quad camera system. The setup is a little bit different, but basically the main camera that most people use on both smartphones is 108 megapixels. One thing I'll let you guys know, the focusing system on the S21 Ultra is going to be much better than the one on the S20 Ultra, which did have some initial problems, but it still works. You take a photo, it produces a beautiful, sharp, high-resolution photo. Now S21 Ultra obviously is going to be a little bit better, but again, from a perspective of a consumer, you're not even going to be able to tell the difference unless you go and you pixel peep every little thing. So again, they both have 4 cameras. The S21 camera is a little bit more capable. Now one more big thing with the S21 Ultra that I think brings a lot of productivity, potential productivity to the S21 Ultra is going to be the addition of being able to use the S Pen with the S21 Ultra. Cannot do that with the S20 obviously, but the S21 Ultra now is capable of using all the features you get of the S Pen, writing, sketching, navigating, and additional software features to simply boost your productivity or just make you happy because you have more features. But it's not a free edition, okay? So if you get the S21 Ultra for $1,200, you do have to go and buy the case and the S Pen, which is going to cost you approximately $70, $80 without any sales. So just keep that in mind. It is not a free upgrade. You have to pay for it to get this functionality. The S Pen does not come in the box. By the way, you also don't get a charger in the box, but with the S20 Ultra, you are getting a charger in the box. So that's another little change. Now, another area where the S20 Ultra has a slight upgrade, it does use a brand new fingerprint sensor. They're both built into the display, but the one in the S21 Ultra is now a little bit bigger, so it's going to be faster and more secure. Again, S20 still works perfectly, but the S21 Ultra is simply better when it comes to the fingerprint that's built in to the display, under the display. And that's basically everything that I want to talk about in this video. So basically, all we have to do now is crunch everything together. Look at everything one by one. The display, the build and design, the processor, we talked about that. There's an upgrade. The battery life is the same. You have faster charging on the S20 Ultra actually with the 45 watt option, but then the S21 Ultra has the S Pen. If you crunch all these things together as a consumer, if you own an S20 Ultra right now, you're still looking at a flagship smartphone. If you are going to upgrade, make sure it costs you minimum amounts of money. If somehow you can only spend a couple extra $100 and get the S21 Ultra, you can upgrade. But if it's going to cost you over $400, $500, do not upgrade. Keep the S20 Ultra and wait for the next S22 to get a meaningful upgrade, because these upgrades, even though they are upgrades, are not groundbreaking. They're not shattering any records. It's like you're going from a phone that goes 150 miles an hour, and now you have a phone that goes 160 miles an hour. S20 Ultra is still fully capable, so do not upgrade if it's going to cost you a lot of money to upgrade. But let me put it this way, if I was a consumer, okay, not a reviewer, a consumer, I had the S20, I would not go for the S21 Ultra because the upgrades are, to me as a consumer, insignificant. And that basically brings us to the end of this video. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys ended up doing in your scenario.